Hello, everyone. Welcome, you guys. Come on in, say hi. Let me know where you're watching me from. I am Danny Garola from Stampin' the Pink Barn, coming to you from Tucson, Arizona. Finally, we have hit fall weather. Woo! Hallelujah. It seems like it's been forever. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Denise. Yeah, they're telling us that we are officially done with triple digits for the rest of the year, or the rest of, winter, I guess you would say, fall and winter. And then they said that we shouldn't be seeing them until probably like April or May. And then they kind of added that we are over seeing the 90s for a while also. Today we were in the mid 80s. And so we shut the air conditioning off, and there's been a very, very nice breeze coming through the house today. So it was really, really nice to just let it air out, and it's been sitting kind of, closed up for a while. I feel like I'm awfully low here, or my camera is awfully high. Hello, Rhea. Hello, Sheila. Hello, Lisa. Welcome. How are you guys all doing? Are you ready for Halloween to be coming up here in a little bit over a week? That just seems mind-boggling. We're actually supposed to be closing on our house the 30th of October. So we are still waiting for them to come back with our appraisal. Our realtor actually has been contacting their realtor to find out, what's going on. You gotta get on this. This is like the last week for us to get through this. And they signed the contract that we would be closing the end of the month. So I guess they're going through their things and whatnot. Hello, Margot. It was 31 when I woke up at 7:30. Oh my goodness, that's cold. And that's there in Michigan. Woohoo! So I'm going to tell you this. I won't be traveling to Michigan in the dead of winter. It's kind of crazy to think that we're just now hitting our fall weather and cooling off. And there are places that I've already been hearing about that are already getting their first snowfall. So that's pretty crazy to think about. But that's kind of, the difference in the parts of the, states that we live. Hello, Marcia. So yeah, we have had a bobcat coming into our property the last couple of nights. He is one by one plucking off my roosters. So we've got quite a few big cages set up out in the back field of our home, where it's kind of like a backyard on top of a backyard. And so he hasn't messed, or he, she, whatever it is, hasn't touched any of my caged birds, but I let a lot of roosters free range the yard because they will wind up beating up all my girls. So I leave them in the yard, and they normally keep the bugs down, and if there's any snakes, they don't come into our direct backyard. So that's why when you guys see me posting about snakes, yeah, the birds don't get to mess with those ones. I wish, but no, they can't be in my direct backyard. So yeah, we've caught him on camera, this bobcat, the last couple of nights, coming in and taking a dinner break with my birds. So I have now no more free-ranging roosters because he has had himself a meal. So tonight, thank goodness my husband has tomorrow off, because we're really going to watch the cameras tonight and make sure he doesn't mess with my hens, because they're what give us eggs. And so we're going to make sure he doesn't get into the cages and hurt any of my girls. Not that I wanted him to hurt my boys, don't get me wrong, but they have a better production than my boys do. But anyways, we have set up extra cameras. We have set up motion censored lights that in case he comes across. I even took a great big he was a Halloween decoration that I had quite a few years ago, and his skeleton head broke, but I have him standing up, and he's probably like 4 foot tall. I have him standing out there as kind of a decoy to make this thing go away. The really odd thing is last night, the bobcat came through our goat pen, and he never messes with the goats, which kind of, you know, makes me question, but why is he going to mess with something that's bigger than him? But he is a big cat. He is like the size of my dog, and I have a pit bull. And so he's about the size of him, not girth-wise, but height-wise. He's about as tall as the dog. And he just crept right through, and it's really weird because my chickens always roosted up in the trees. So I don't know how well, cats climb, but I don't know how he's getting way up in the tree without falling through the branches, because the trees are not like big, thick branch trees. So I don't know. I have no clue of how he's doing it, but he's definitely doing it. Hello, Linda. Hello, Kay. Hello, Shan. Hello, Courtney. So, yeah, that was kind of one of those things that are now we're like, we've got to take care of this. And so I know if you go to the, what's it called? Not animal control, but wildlife, they will give you a cage to try to trap it in. And I'm like, yeah, because I want to mess with it after it's trapped. I don't think so. I mean, he's going to not be very happy. He's probably going to be, you know, just crazy in a cage. So I don't know. It just seems a little, whoa, I don't know, but we'll figure it out. So the other news is last week, I took my son down to animal control, and I let him walk through and look at their cats. And so they didn't have very many there at the shelter, which I guess is a good thing. At the shelter. And so we're walking through, and he sees a couple of them that he really likes, but they've already been adopted. I mean, they're there because the person hasn't came and picked them up yet, but they're on hold for adoption. That's what it's called. And so he was like, okay, so we get to the very end of the row, and the first cat, when we turn around the corner to walk up the next row, there's a cat there, and my son sees his name. Well, this cat's name is Cheese, and he's got a cute little blue collar with little pieces of cheese embroidered on his collar. He's got a little piece of cheese that hangs. He's a little yellow tabby cat. The only thing is that his leg was broken. He was there as a owner relinquished because he had gotten attacked by, I don't know by what he got attacked by, but his front, it's kind of at his elbow, is broke. And so he is a foster adopt right now. So my son fell in love with him. He is the sweetest little kitty. He's only 6 months old. And my son, the way he is he feels like he gravitates towards animals or people or things that are broken. And not broken in the fact that it's broke, but you know what I'm saying. Things that have flaws, things that are, needing a little bit of extra help, that's what he gravitates towards. So he fell in love with this cat, and so we're foster adopting it, and they will call us because he needs to have that leg amputated because we were like, is he in pain? Does he hurt? And he's not. He walks around kind of on his little nub. This part is still here. The front part and the paw are still connected to him, but they think that he had some severe nerve damage, so that's why he doesn't have any pain. Kudos. He can still get around. He still jumps up on top of things. He is a happy, fun-loving little kitten. We have bought him little toys and little treats, and he is just happy to be with someone who loves him. And I'm not saying that his last owner didn't love him. Don't get me wrong. But it's almost like a match made in heaven for my son and this cat. So he is so happy that he finally got a kitty. And so we will be taking him in as soon as they call us. They're pretty backed up on their surgeries. And so they said that they will be calling us within the next couple of weeks to get him set up for his amputation and to have his little biscuits cut off because we don't want him spraying on things. And not to say that that's a foolproof way of, cutting that off, but it definitely helps the situation, especially since he's little. So yeah, so that is my other big news. And a lot of you guys saw my daughter try the trial of her Obi machine. Now, I say her Obi machine, and it's not hers, but she got to try the Obi machine, which is a feeding machine that is kind of a not animatronics, but kind of sorta. It's quite a contraption. If you haven't seen that, go over to my personal page and I have videos over there of her using it. It was so wonderful to watch her finally be able to eat on her own without needing us to actually put the food into her mouth. She had control of it. You were watching her. Yes, Peggy, isn't it so cool? And I know, I get a whole different, emotion out of it because she's my daughter and I know the struggles that she deals with. But it is kind of a neat thing to see when you have, kind of grown to watch a child grow and be limited mobility of doing things. So, it's just kind of one of those things that it's pretty heartwarming to watch her be able to experience that and have that freedom of being able to feed herself. So I think I have gone through pretty much my last week of life that's going on. Oh, you cried watching her. Oh gosh. Yeah. I mean, I teared up too because it was wonderful. Thank you, Kay, for sharing. Hello, Patty. Oh, cool. Yes, absolutely. If you have a smart TV, you can always, not that you need to see me in this big TV, but you can always put me up on your TV and be able to follow along with crafting or just be able to see a little bit better, especially when I go down to start making the cards. That's a wonderful idea. Thank you, Linda, for sharing. Thank you, Courtney, for sharing. So, oh, Margot, thank you for sharing. Rhea, oh my goodness, you're going to take hundreds any day. Well, you do like to go to Phoenix, and I know Phoenix is a lot hotter than we are down here. So, you know what? You want those heats, you can go up to Phoenix, but I'm very, very happy and content with our 80s right now. I love it. I'm sure my animals love it as well because I could not imagine having to be out in that all day long, and especially a body full of fur. But I guess they acclimate just like anything else. All right, you guys, I'm going to get you guys flipped around. We're going to talk about a little bit of business, and then we're going to get into the giveaways and then the beautiful cards that I've created. And I have an extra bonus that I'm going to share with you guys tonight. And then I will be posting later on in the week over on my blog, my little bonus takeaways of the week, because you guys are going to fall in love with them. Maybe you guys have created some because it is something that I have kind of taken the idea out of the catalog. So hang tight. Let me get you guys flipped around and then we're going to get into this. Okay, I think that looks pretty straight right there. I'm gonna try to tip it just a slight skosh. There we go, that looks better. So right now our current paper pumpkin is the Warm Wishes for the month of November. This is, it says, spread the light of Christmas this season with a gift box. The Warm Wishes Paper Pumpkin Kit includes a traditional and festively designed treat packaging box, perfect for gifting warm Christmas wishes. Fill up the box with small goodies, treats, and more. It's a wonderful way to make the season shine even brighter for the people you love. It says it's going to have, the Warm Wishes box includes 8 boxes for each of 2 designs, 1 Mossy Meadow Stampin' Spot, iridescent glitter accents on paper, linen thread, 8 clear food safe bags, 1 photopolymer stamp set, and then it gives you the dimensions of the bags or the boxes. And then it says if you can't get enough of this traditional Christmas scene, then you're going to want to get these add-ons, which are the card bases and envelopes that will coordinate with your little gift boxes. So what a perfect little gift to give to your loved ones. So you can check this out. There's more details over on my blog. If you go to the promotions section over on the right-hand column, there is a categories. And if you go to promotions, you're going to see more about this and how you can sign up for that. Right now, Stampin' Up! Is celebrating their 35-year anniversary. This is something that I want you all to know about because this is a wonderful, wonderful promotion going on right now. Stampin' Up! Is being very, very generous with their starter kit. So what is a starter kit? A starter kit is where you get to pick what you want in your starter kit. So if you are new to Stampin' Up, it's a great way of getting yourself those items that you have on your list, but you just don't want to spend that much money at one time. This is a great way of going. There's no gimmicks. There's no, catch to it. You get to simply add whatever you want into your starter kit, because I do get that question. What comes in the starter kit? Well, there are a couple of things that are going to come in every starter kit, which you're going to get some catalogs. You are going to get a free paper pumpkin, and it is a random paper pumpkin. It may not be the one for the month, but it's to give you a glimpse of what a paper pumpkin looks like and maybe show to your family and friends. It just is one of those kind of little peeks of it. And then you have the option whether or not you want to subscribe to that paper pumpkin. And with that, you're going to have a discount. So whether you want to be a business builder or a hobby, or what we also call ourselves is a discount shopper, which I was for the longest time, which I signed up with Stampin' Up! And I simply was just a discount shopper and just enjoyed that wonderful discount. Then I decided to take it a little bit further, and that's when I decided to start a business and do Stampin' the Pink Barn and then come live for you guys and then show you all the wonderful things there are that Stampin' Up! Has to offer. So with this going on, this ends at the end of the month. So you definitely want to sit down, make your list if you're interested in this. Again, there are no strings attached. If you just want your starter kit and never do another thing with it, absolutely, that's all you have to do. Try to go out and come back in. Is everybody else being able to hear me okay? Are you guys having issues with sound? Everything looks okay on my end. But so just to tell you a little bit about the 2 different options that there are with this starter kit promotion is you have the 35% off the cost of your starter kit. So your starter kit is $99, so you would save 35% off of that price, and you get to pick $125 of product to put into your kit. Otherwise, you can pick the 35% more, and this is really kind of the one that more people are leaning towards, because wait until you tell me what you get in this. So for option number 2, the get 35% more product in your starter kit, you're going to spend $99, but you're going to now get to pick $168.75 worth of product. This one over here, it's going to be $125 worth of product, but you're going to save that 35%, and it's going to be $64.35. So if you already have some Stampin' Up! Products and you're good and you've been a customer for a while, this is a way to not only become a part of an amazing team, just saying, but it's also a great way to get yourself some extra items for a very, very discounted price. Then going forward, you will get a discount on all of your upcoming items. So there's that. Coming up in November, this starts November 7th, we are going to have our online exclusives kind of have a revamp. They're going to be adding some new products to our online exclusives. Now, us as demonstrator, another perk of being a demonstrator and signing up and being a part of my team is that you get to have a early release on our upcoming catalog products and our online exclusives like this. So for the general population of customers, they have to wait until November 7th to be able to take advantage of getting a couple of these items early. Now, this is not all that's going to be coming into the online store. This is just what we as demonstrators have an option to pre-order to start showing to people and creating projects with to start, sampling those out. But that being said, you have a month early to be able to purchase some of these things. So just know that's an extra perk on top of that. But there is a new set called the Meandering Meadows Sweet Collection. Then we have the Fluffiest Friends Bundle. Super, super cute. I don't know how well you can see that. I did order this one and I am going to start playing with that. I'm in the middle right now. I am getting my PDF class for the month of November. I am going to be featuring the St. Nicholas bundle in my November PDF class. So keep watch for that. That will be posted on and available to purchase. It is a PDF. So the PDF will come with still photos. It will come with all of your instructions to create 4 beautiful cards using the St. Nicholas stamp set and die set. And I also, you're going to need to have it's in the online exclusive. So you will only find the paper in my online exclusive store. It is called the Traditions of St. Nick paper, that you'll have to complete those cards as well. So you'll see the posting for that. Keep watch for that. Like I said, it will start November 1st. So I'm just getting all the little fine details added onto that. And then I'm going to start working on my Meandering Meadows cards. Mystery stamping we did on Wednesday. You can catch the replay of that either on my blog, stampinthepinkbarn.com, or you can watch it here. I have posted it here on Facebook that you can watch that. You have until Wednesday. I will do the drawing Wednesday evening, normally around like 6 p.m. is what I have an alarm set for. So you have the morning of Wednesday to get your card created. You need to join my group if you're not already in there, Pink Barn Stampers group. That is my private group. That is where you're going to look for the card that I have created. And the way you'll know that is when you watch the replay video, you'll see what card that I've created. Go over to that group, then find my completed card. In the comments, snap a picture of your card and add it to the comments. And that's how you're going to be entered into the drawing for some wonderful embellishments this month. Okay. So that is our news. I'm going to go ahead and do our giveaways now. So last week we made some beautiful cards using the Merry and Bright stamp set and dies. It actually has a sweet collection that is going to also add in this beautiful designer series paper and the Granny Apple Green and Melon Mambo foil sheets. It is just a stunning, stunning collection that we have for this set here. So for liking last week's video, I have this beautiful card here that is actually a gift card holder. So you would just take your gift card and you would just slide it right in there like that. I would advise that you either put like a glue dot on the back of it or some Stampin' Seal just to hold that in place. But that will go in there, and that is how your card will close. Beautiful, beautiful shimmery, shimmery card here. This is going to be coming to Patty Rutledge. So Patty Rutledge, this is coming your way. Some little sparkle in your life. Then for commenting last week, we made this little Z fold card, and then I took the words from that set and created a little Christmas tree and then put that beautiful foil paper in the background for the strands of lights. So that card there, this is going to be coming to Margot Rantanen. I think that's how you say that. I'm probably totally slaughtering your name, but wouldn't be the first time that I'm not great at saying people's names. And then for sharing last week's video, so the way that works is click down in the bottom. There is a little share button. It looks like a little arrow that is curved over next to the comments where you would write in. Hit that and say share to news feed. That's going to share to your feed. All your family and friends who follow you are going to see my video. It is a great way to help me get more followers and potential, help me build my business. And so it's just a very, very helpful way for me to get more people on here. And so for that, since I'm asking such a huge ask for you, I like to do a little bit of a bigger giveaway for that. So this paper here is called the Quilted Christmas Pack. This is got some of our traditional Christmas colors in here. You've got garden green, you've got the real red, and your whisper white. So this pack is going to really be pretty for your upcoming holiday cards. So this paper here is going to be going to Miss Vicki Buller. Vicki, this is coming your way. Thank you so much for sharing my video. I totally appreciate all that you guys do for me. Now, when you share the video, do make sure that you come back over here and in the comments write that you've shared it, because that is how I track who has shared so I can get you entered into the giveaway. My mom made me a wonderful cup of coffee. So I know I have to be drinking that because I'm not necessarily under the weather, but I have just been feeling a little bit blah. I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, okay, coffee, here we come. All right, so tonight I'm going to be featuring the Stars at Night bundle. So Stars at Night is this one right up here. It is an actual hybrid set. So it has the stamp set, and this is in the cling. It also has the dies that then coordinate inside of the hybrid embossing folder, and I'm going to show you how that works tonight. So it makes beautiful, beautiful stars, and so we are going to be using that tonight. I'm also going to be using the Night of Navy ribbon and the little star embellishments. They're called the star trinkets. Here is that gorgeous. It is see-through. It's kind of sheer, but it's got all those little gold and copper flakes in it. Very, very beautiful. I'm also going to be using just the Shining Brightly paper on my cards today. I'm not going to be using the Holy Night, but I think this is on our list. At first, I wasn't digging it. I do love the sentiments in the stamp set, but I didn't really think I liked this nativity. But now that I've been seeing more and more people using this, I think I've fallen in love. So that is on the list. So I'm pretty sure we're going to wind up getting that too. But there are 2 full pages of this set. This gives you a better detailed look at these stamp sets. So when you see these bigger images, this is going to show you the stamp sets. And then down below in the little description down here, you're going to see what you're going to get in the die sets with this when you buy these as a bundle. Just make sure to know that when you bundle these, you are going to save the 10% that way. If you want it all and you don't want to add each thing individually, you can come over here to the bottom of this big spread. Once you input this number here, this is your suite collection number. That means you want it all. That's what a suite collection stands for. I want it all. Okay, that's what that's short for. That's what I say. So when you input that number, you're going to get everything that you see over here on this page. That's what that includes. Then you don't have to keep messing around and hoping that you added all the things. It will just do it just by using that one code. Okay. But what I do want to show you is, did you guys happen to see these beautiful ornaments on this spread on page number 17? That is going to be my bonus for the week. So I'm going to show you that first before we get into our cards. Now, this is the first ornament here. I have just taken the stars and I put two of them together, put some adhesive down there, and then this can lay flat. You can put this inside of a card. Like if you want to mail this, say, let me grab a card over here. You could actually lay this inside of a card, flatten that down, fold that up, put that inside of the card, and it could be mailed. And then it is an ornament that they have from you. You would just probably need to let them know that they just need to fluff that star up just a little bit for some dimension, and then they can hang that on their Christmas tree and have a beautiful little keepsake from you. Then the next one that I made is this one right here. This is, I did double-sided, so if it spins on your tree, you can see both sides. There's that, and then if you flip it around, it's got that star on it as well, and with a little piece of ribbon. And so these little rings right here, they are called macrame rings, and I found them on Amazon, just FYI. And then I created this one right here. Those two, I kind of got the idea out of the catalog. This one I came up with on my, this one I created all on my own. I used my little brain. And so I just did two of those starbursts behind, and it's double-sided as well. And then just use that cool banner that is in that. And so they're really kind of cute and fun. They make great little gifts, especially if you have somebody kind of stop by during the holidays and you don't have like any extra gifts. These would be awesome to hand out to, you know, people that you just didn't have a gift for, because those make great gifts. And the ring is kind of thick. So it is, I wouldn't say it's like heavy. This would be the perfect ornament on a tree because it doesn't have a lot of weight to it, that it's not going to weight the branches down. So I really like that as well. And so the bag of these, they're calling them 2.5-inch gold small metal crafting rings. And on the thing, it said macrame rings. So you get this one, you get 10 of them in there. And I think it was like $6 or $7. So I thought, heck yeah, that's a great deal for some Christmas gifts. So those are my little bonus to go with this set. I just thought those would be super fun to share with you guys. So then you can kind of take this stamp set to a whole nother level, and then it really makes it worth getting this set. So as you guys know, you guys are here for Make It Monday. This is Make It Monday, October 23rd. So just to let you guys know, the 3 cards that I am going to be making tonight, if you make a purchase with me of $35 or more in product, and you must use my current host code. So as you see, my host code has changed from what it was last week. It is 6EKK NQRA. You must input this when you are finishing up with your order. At the end, when it tells you your total, you're going to see a little spot that says host code. Be sure to put this host code in there, and I'm going to send you enough product to create the 3 cards that we're going to be making tonight. Where's my other card? I know it's back there somewhere. So you're going to get envelopes that look just like this. You're going to have all of your pieces in here. I will be die cutting any small pieces that you need from this set. The only thing that I do not include is I do not include any stamped images. That is against my policies with Stampin' Up, so I don't do that. But I will include, if I have any ribbon added to any of my cards, you're going to get the ribbon. But I do not include any kind of embellishments. So you can add your own embellishments to it, or make sure you have those on your order, because you're going to definitely want those for these cards and those ornaments. Okay, so let's get started. Let me show you the 3 cards that we are making today. This is the first one that we're going to make. Just really, really pretty using that brightly shining paper. The second one is this, and I know that's probably shining really bad for you guys with those lights, but it is the gold foil with that embossed folder just done over it. Just a very beautiful, simple card. And then the last one is I have used some of our white core paper, and I have used a emery board or filing, nail file, whatever you want to call it. And I've just kind of went over a little bit of those embossed raised areas to add that white coming through that. So let's go ahead and get started so I can show you how to make these. Know that tomorrow I will have everything posted on my blog about these cards. You will see the dimensions there and the products that I have used. And then when you come back and look at my blog on Sunday, you will see that I will have a full PDF sheet that you can print off. So if you scroll down on any of my past Make It Monday videos, if you go over to the blog and you want to know how to make something, you can either A, watch the video, or B, you can print off those PDFs. So down below each card, you're going to see a shopping list. Below where it says the words shopping list, you're going to see in blue, it says downloadable instructions. So if you click that, it's going to take you over to a PDF. Now you can choose how you want that PDF printed off. You can choose it with photos. You can choose it without photos. So that is your choice. Just depends on if you need to see a photo of the finished image. Otherwise, you can do C, you can watch the video and put the cards together, reading the instructions as well. So just to let you guys know that. But that does not come out until the end of the week when I go ahead and put all of the kits together for everybody who has purchased from me. That way it's just saved. Until then, I can get everything printed off and get it shipped on Sunday. So just so you guys know how that works. Because if you go over there and you're like, wait a minute, I don't see a PDF. That's why. The PDFs don't come out until Sunday. Man, she makes a good cup of joe. All right, so this first one, and I will let you know because I realize that I have a white envelope in here. Yours will come with the very vanilla envelope, not a white one, because that looks really tacky. So just to let you know that. All right, so for the first card, let me make sure I have all of my little bits and pieces out here so I don't lose anything. Stay there. Okay, so for our card base, we are going to be using very vanilla thick cardstock. So this will withstand our opening and folding of this card. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I have scored it at 4 1/4. I'm just going to simply burnish that down to make it a nice, good crease there. Then our next piece of paper that we have, this is the Shiny Brightly paper. Now this comes in This comes in 6 papers, and as you can see, there are the stars, there are the navy. So you've got all these beautiful solid colors with this gold foiling on there in both of those colors. 3 of each one of those with the different patterns. And that is called the Shining Brightly Specialty Designer Series paper. So that is what I'm using here. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is going to get layered right onto my card. Then I have 3 of the same pattern, but in the Night of Navy. These are 3/4 by 5 1/4. Little strips. We're going to just lay those down. I'm going to actually take this off of the card base because that thing keeps trying to open on me. It's easier when my paper is flat. So we will get those straight once we started hearing those down. So that's going to go like that. Then we need a scrap of gold foil paper, and then we need some scraps of our Night of Navy. And then we need a scrap of the regular very vanilla. So it doesn't need to be the thick. And so what I've done with that is I have just taken from the Stylish Shapes dies, because of course you guys would be shocked if I didn't use my Stylish Shapes dies. And I have taken the second from largest, or no, the third from the largest, and I die cut out of a piece of Very Vanilla to make my sentiment piece there. And that will come to you already die cut. So if you don't have that, just know that this little die cut image will come to you just like that. Okay, so what we need to do is for our first couple of pieces of die cutting, we need to, the way this hybrid works is when you open it, I know it kind of goes like this because you see the Stampin' Up image here, or logo. You're going to open it up with that Stampin' Up image over here. Now the part that makes this hybrid is you have this big die cut piece that has these 3 stars. As you can see, they are the same 3 stars as the center of this embossing folder. Can you guys see that? Does that help? There are the 3 stars right here. There are 3 different sizes. I don't know if that's easy or harder for you guys to see, but you'll see when I get going here. So with the logo side flat down, you're gonna take your little image here and it's gonna fit right in there. It's gonna pop into place in the little grooves of that, into those little stars. So it will fit into those 3 stars, logo side down. Then you can take your piece that you want to die cut from and you can lay that onto your image. Now you're going to want whatever side of your paper you want to be seen from the outside. So I have already got one of these big stars cut out. So as you can see, this has already got the embossed image on it. Now, whether you want the embossed popped up the impression or if you want it popped down, like kind of like a negative, you're going to put your paper. So I want the image coming up. I want it popped up. So I'm going to be putting my piece of gold just like so. So I can now have that image popped downwards. So then when I shut this and I go to run this through my machine, now the reason why I don't have a full sheet in there is because I don't want to waste my beautiful gold sheet. So I just made it the size that I need for this big star. And then with these pieces up here that are kind of scraps, if I pull it up a little bit further, I can use for my other couple of stars that I'm going to be using. So then when I go to put this through my machine, I can do it this way or I can do it this way. Doesn't matter. Things are not going to move around in there because I'm holding that closed. I do like to keep the die facing down though in my machine, just so in case that comes open, nothing shifts around in there. So I like to take it with the back side up into my, so you're gonna need the big emboss machine for this. So when you have this open, and because this is a hybrid, you need your specialty plate and your number 1. That's it. You just need the 2 plates. You will stick your number 1 in first. Then you're going to stick your image in there with your embossing folder. Make sure that your hinged part of your folder goes in first. Then you will take your plate number 4, your specialty plate, and then you're going to run that through your machine. When it comes out, you're going to then get this beautiful image that pops right out of here, and it will already be cut for you because you've just ran it through that folder, and it embossed it while it cut it. So kind of a cool little thing when you get a hybrid set. So that's how the hybrid works. So I've also, in my scrap of gold, I have taken, there are 3 little stars that then coordinate with the big ones. And they also have an impression in them too. So then I'm just gonna take those and I'm just gonna die cut those out. I'm going to do the big one, which is right here. And see, it's got that little image in the inside of it. It's very, very beautiful. I'm going to take this one and do the same thing in the Night of Navy and the star. I did it out of this star, the one over here. And so that's where I got that image. And then I did this one, which is this right here. It's just a little X in the gold. And then I have one of these, which again, I love when they give us duplicates of items that images that they know you're going to be using a lot of. So when you're adding stars into the sky, you're not going to want to do this 100 times. This way they give you 2 of each of these different littler stars here, so you can run them through a couple of at a time. Okay, so now you see how I have that done. I am going to slide this back in here so I don't lose anything. Then we're going to get down to this card and I'm going to show you how I have done this. But first, why don't we go ahead and stamp. Since I'm using Night of Navy, I like to give it a couple of seconds to dry because it is such a rich color. Sometimes if you touch it right after you've stamped it, sometimes it'll smear. We don't want any smearing going on. So I am using, oh my goodness, I just dropped everything here. So I am going to be using the Merry Christmas sentiment. And in this set, you have a couple of different sentiments you can use. There's Merry Christmas, celebrating the magic of the season, wishing you the best and brightest holiday season. Now with this, the shape of it, there's actually a coordinating die right here, this little label that goes perfectly with that little, and that's what I used on that one ornament there. So just to show you that. Okay, so I'm going to get Night of Navy out here. And because I have a circle, no matter what, it's going to be centered because I can turn my circle any way that I need it to make it work. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and clean that. because the sooner you clean it, the less staining you get on your stamp at the moment. Somebody must be here. Okay, so now I'm going to take these. So I'm going to use the smaller one that is the Night of Navy. And I'm going to place that right in the center of that, just like so. Okay, and kind of just hold that there for a second so that adheres. Okay, and then with the big star cross, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to do that next. And do that right in the center of that one. Thank you, Linda, for sharing. Thank you, Vicky, for sharing. I truly appreciate it. Okay, there's that. Now, I did the one that looks like the little X because I want this to follow that little pattern there. So I'm just gonna take that right on top of that other one and stick it just like so. Frida, your dogs are reacting to my mom's dog in the background. That's funny. My dog was doing that the other day because he heard something on the TV, something that there was a dog barking, and he just sat there and he like looked and he looked, and you know how dogs will tilt their heads a bunch of different times? That's what he was doing. He thought, oh my goodness, what is happening? But yeah, I told him, you know what, dude, that is the TV, my friend. Okay, then the smallest one is gonna go right there. Then we're going to take one of these beautiful little adhesive back star trinkets, and we're gonna add that right to the center of that. Oh, no, we're not. Nope, we could, but I decided not to, that's right. See, getting ahead of myself. I decided I wanted the blue to be the focal point. So then I'm gonna take these little strips that I did. I'm going to place that right here. Okay, there's that one. So I went in last week and I had my my angiogram scans, my CT scans of my brain and my neck done to make sure that all my blood was flowing and there wasn't any restriction. But hey, no. Hey, cancel. Ooh, why is she doing this? Stop. Stop. Jeez Louise. Don't be rude. And so when I went and had that done, they put some contrast in your, in your bloodstream so they can see if anything's constricted or whatnot. And so when it came back, her name is Echo. Oh, all right. Well, don't talk to her because she didn't want to shut up. Okay. I don't even know how she went off. Should we turn it off? If you want, I hope she doesn't do it again. She was being nosy. Normally it's my watch that does it. All of us have these devices everywhere and they like to be nosy from time to time and want to talk to us when it is not time for them to talk. Okay, so that's gonna go right there. Is it off?
Well, the speaker's off.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's cool. All right, because then if she wants to talk, she can talk to herself. I'm okay with that. Okay, so we're gonna take this star right here and we are going to pop that up with some dimensionals. Where are my snips? And so just like this, I'm gonna put a big one in the center and then I'm gonna put some smaller ones towards the ends. So yeah, it was nice when they called me back with the results and said that everything looked fine. There was no signs of stroke. There was no signs of a TIA, because that's what she had told me. She goes, so did your doctor want you to have this done because of a stroke or because of a TIA? And I go, well, she was kind of wanting to see both to see if we could kind of rule out what had happened. And she said, okay, well, you came to the right place. We'll be able to get you some answers here. So it was kind of nice when, like I said, they came back and there was nothing for them to report in the negative. So, that's always kind of a happy note. So next I have to go in and have a echocardiogram. But when I'm supposed to go in and have that done tomorrow, but they just called me for the hospital admin when they get you admitted to the hospital, and my Ko-fi is a little bit more than what I want to spend right now. So I rescheduled it to when we're supposed to be closing on the house the end of the week. So then we'll have hopefully the money that I don't have to stress about not being able to afford that. But everything that I have had done so far has come back good. So I don't know what my little spell thing was. And I guess I don't need to know. Because if it's not a bad thing. When I went out with my friend the other night, she had told me that she has had kind of the similar thing, minus having the loss of words or the loss of the ability to speak. She said that she had the same other symptoms that I had, and it was a anxiety or panic attack. So I was like, I totally thought that when I went to the hospital, because it was the same week or weekend, because I went in on a Sunday to the hospital, that I was going to take my daughter up to the hospital for her to have her EEG done. So there was just a lot going on in life. I was super trying to get everything packed and together to take to the hospital with us. So, I've never had one before that I'm aware of, and I've never really had anxiety. But, I guess there's a first time for everything. So, as long as I'm having all my scans done and we're checking off the list, and that's what the doctor said. She goes, not because I think there's anything wrong. She goes, but I want to start by checking off, the list to see the possible things that they could be, easy things to rule out, to know that that's what it's not. So that was a good thing. Okay, I'm going to wait on putting those because I don't have my card on my base. So that is how I've put that together as I'm talking and doing this. We're going to adhere that straight down since we already have some of our images popped up there. The other thing that my doctor thought it might be contributed to is because of my very, very low iron levels, that she said that could, again, not having to do with the speech thing. And she said that was the one thing that concerned her, is because she doesn't really have an answer to why I lost the ability of the speech. And that's what was concerning to her, because everything else would have kind of been in line with the dizziness, the lightheaded, the feeling a little wonky. That could be due to the iron levels, but because of the speech thing, that's what concerned her. Because she said low iron would not cause me to have an issue with speech. Okay, so now I'm just adding a few of the little embellishments on here. These are those little star trinkets, just like so. And then I think I'm going to take a strip of the designer series paper. I'm going to bring in that star down here. We're just going to add, and of course that's not long enough. Oops, come on. I'm going to take a strip of this, go to a 1/2 inch. Half an inch by 5.5. I'm going to add that to the inside of my card base. Right like so. Because we got to make her inside just as pretty as her outside. Well, I don't know, just as pretty, but we got to glam up the inside. All right, so let me see, where is... where did I put the stamp set? There it is. Okay, so I think celebrating the magic of the season. Not sure if that's going to be too long. Yep, nope, that's not going to work. That's more for a card that goes like this. But what we could do is we can add this sentiment right here. This is that wishing you the best and brightest holiday season. I think we're going to put that right in the inside here. Yes, that's exactly the way I was, Kim, is I knew what I wanted to say, but the words wouldn't come out on part of it once I started to recuperate. But at first, I could not even figure out the word. So once I started feeling a little wonky and I started to see the weird little aura in my eye, and my one eye, I completely lost focus on my right eye, and my right hand went completely numb. My fingertips, I kept going like this, and I couldn't even feel the pads of my own fingers on my right hand. And then we were, that Hurricane Idalia was just happening off the coast of Florida. And so we were talking about it, and I was trying to tell my mom about Florida. And the word Florida would not even comprehend in my vocabulary. Like when I was telling her about it, she goes, yeah, that's Florida. And Florida was like a completely foreign word to me. Like I didn't even know what that word was. And so I went over to the map on the wall because I homeschool my kids. So I had a map and I kept pointing to the state of Florida. She kept saying the word Florida, and that word was just not there for me. And then when I couldn't remember like our president's name, I couldn't remember who Biden was. His name was like, it just didn't make any sense to me when she would say Biden. Or when we were talking about Trump, I could not remember what Trump's name was. Like it just was not in my process. Like it was the weirdest sensation ever. And the weirdest thing is like what my doctor said is how I can remember all this now. Even the words that I was looking for, it's just a very, very odd thing. And that's what she said. She goes, normally people don't remember the very, very small details like I did. And so that was another thing that's very confusing for her. I'm just like, I don't know, leave it to me to be your oddball out of the bunch. She goes, well, no, this is just why, we have to do some scans and see what's going down. And since they had asked me if I had another episode like that, and I said, no, I have not had another episode like that, but I still just feel off. Like when I'm walking around, I feel kind of lightheaded. Like there's just something that's just not back to my norm. So Again, I have been trying to boost my iron levels up and have been taking iron supplements. So she said that the other thing that she thinks, because I did have that weird thing pop up in my eye, and because we know that I don't get headaches, I've never had a migraine, I've never had headaches. So we know that that's ruled out. We know the TIA is ruled out. She said that the other thing that she thinks, because of maybe me having pressure behind my eyes, and that I really need to go have some an extensive eye exam done. So that's on the schedule to go have an eye exam done to see if that could be what's causing the issue as well. So I don't know. We'll just keep ruling things off and checking things off the list and hoping for the best that we finally get some answers to what's wrong with my crazy self. Besides being crazy. I don't know. All right. So card number 2. So we just finished card number 1 there. Isn't that so beautiful and rich? Love the Night of Navy with the very vanilla. Just think it is so beautiful. So card number 2, we're going to do the landscape style. Now this one is a very quick and easy card to make. We are going to be getting out our pieces here. So what I need is, for my card base is Night of Navy. This is Night of Navy. We're going to fold that in half, 8.5 by 5.5, folding it at half at the 4 1/4 mark. If you're more comfortable with scoring it, you can absolutely do that. All right, Linda, absolutely. You come back and watch the replay tomorrow or whenever you have time. Okay, so there is our card base. We need a piece of very vanilla. We actually need 2 of them. They're both 4 by 5 1/4. One is going to go on the inside of our card. The other one is for the outside. We have a piece of foil, gold foil sheet, which is 1/8 of an inch smaller than this. So it is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And what we're going to do with that, you're also going to need a scrap of the very vanilla. And so what we're going to do with this is we're going to take our hybrid folder. Now I need to move some of this stuff out of my way because we're going to need to bring that big boss out. This is how I get my workout, is I bring my big boss back and forth from side to side. It's a pretty good workout if you ask me, because I get a lot of beautiful things in the outcome. So win-win. All right, so what I'm going to do is, again, I want to make sure that my impression is pushed out. So using the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it, I am going to take my foil and face it towards that, because I know I can feel this and the impression is pushed up. So I know if I fold this, it's going to press in on that, and I want that popping up. So then I just come over here and I see how I want this to look. So because of the size of this, I can see that a little bit of this star is going to come off. Not a big deal, but I want to make sure that I have the top point of that there, and that I'm pretty even. Now, I'm not a measurer. That's just not my thing. I like to just eyeball and just call it good, because that's how I roll. Okay, again, we're going to need plate number 1 and our specialty plate number 4. I'm going to make sure that my hinge is now facing into my rolling mechanism first, because I don't want that to get warped and break that hinge there. And I'm going to roll that through, and you're going to hear some cracking and popping. That is a good thing, because then you know that it's doing its job. I think I'm only going to have one strong arm, and it's going to be my left arm, which is okay because my left arm doesn't get the movement that my right one does. So we'll just keep moving that with my left arm. Then I can say that I'm doing my left workout. Okay, so that is what that turns out to look like when we're done. All right, now what I need to do next is I'm going to take a length of, oops, if I can get this out of here, a length of this. Now I'm going to go a little bit further, and I need my other pair of snips that I use for ribbon. Now I'm just going to cut some of that off, just like so, because we're going to tape, whoops, we're going to tape that down. So that's going to set to the side. We're going to go ahead and stamp this so I can see where I need to put the placement of that ribbon. We're going to use Night of Navy again. And that wishing you the best and brightest holiday season. And I've kind of realized through this whole thing is I need to slow down and I need to breathe, because I'm a very high-strung, very go, fast-paced kind of person. I live very kind of crazy, I guess you would say. Not crazy in the aspect that I go do crazy things and put my life on the line. No, I don't live like that. I'm not daring at all. I'm kind of a chicken. But I'm very fast-paced, and we're kind of a very loud family. And so I've realized I just need to learn to take breaks, and I just need to learn to stop and focus on my breathing. So I've really been kind of doing, I wouldn't say meditation or anything like that, but just taking time for myself. So I try to get up early before everybody else does in the morning. So I just go into my craft room. I sit there and I, work on my cards and work on my stuff and just have it be quiet in my own space, drinking my coffee. Okay, so now let's take out the little matching banner here. And I'm going to grab the little machine this time because this can fit through here. And it's easier for you guys to see it when we are on camera. Okay, let me grab just a little piece of tape here so I can make sure this thing stays in place. So as you can see on here, that little curved wishing you fits right in the curve of the die. Oh, that is another thing that I wanted to let you guys know that I forgot to tell you when we were going over the mystery stamping stuff. Starting next month, mystery stamping will still be on the Wednesdays. I'm not changing that. I'm just going to be changing the time that I am live. I'm thinking I'm going to probably go live on at around 3 in the afternoon versus going at 6 o'clock, because it just seems to be so late for so many people, and especially with time change coming up. And the weird thing is it so screws me up when it comes to times on my videos, because we're the only state that doesn't have daylight savings. So when everybody else in the world is changing their times, well, at least in the US, when they're changing their times, we're not. So instead of every year, me constantly twice a year changing my times on everything, I'm going to keep my Monday night lives at 6 o'clock Pacific time. Now here in Arizona, that will be 7 o'clock because we will be mountain time in the fall. But you guys don't worry about that. You are going to see that it does say 7 o'clock on the Facebook event notification, but it's still going to be the same time Pacific time because that's what it's always been my whole life. I'm not used to this whole mountain time, and then moving to a state that doesn't have daylight savings really messes with me because everybody else is changing, but we're not. And so even though it's just screwy. So instead of making things complicated for everybody, I'm just going to keep it one time. And it might say something different on there, but I don't care. As long as you guys know. Okay, so we're going to pull this thing down like so. And I think that's going to fit. Okay, yep, that'll work. Just making sure that I don't go so far down that that hangs too low, that that banner would be falling off the edge. Okay, I've got a piece of tape here that needs to come off. I had kind of a hanger. But back to mystery stamping. Sorry, squirrel. The mystery stamping, I'm going to be going forward. I'm going to be changing it to a daytime live, because I do all of my lives so late that I want to be able to also be able to accommodate early viewers as well. And since that is, you know, all of my videos are recorded, so if you can't make it, you can always watch the replay and still join in. I'm not taking that ability from anybody. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this is I am, knowing that I have a little bit of overhang here and a little bit of overhang here, what I'm going to do is, because that ribbon is pretty wide, I am going to take a mini glue dot and I'm going to do it towards the top, making sure it's not going to be seen of that, and towards the bottom center. So that way it will touch my gold foil and actually stay adhered down there. So I need to get this straight. Watching both of my sides here. There we go. Because I do know there are some people that would like to be able to watch live and to comment and stuff, but I just, when I go so late at night, I mean, people have jobs, people have to work. I get it. So just to give other people a fair shot, I figured I can do that once a month, and people can come in and watch how to make a card and make a card. Yeah, see, Eastern time, you guys are, you know, in here late. And like I said, if you have to get up and work early, it's just tough on you guys. Again, the good thing is you can always watch replays. And if you can't find it here on Facebook, because sometimes the algorithm will shove a video pretty far down where you don't get to see it or find it, you can always find it over on YouTube. Okay. You know, there for a while, Margot, I did hear that they were going to stop doing the daylight savings, and I think I've heard that for quite a few years, but I've yet to see it. I wish they would. I wish they would just leave it alone, leave it all across the board, just leave it alone. And because I live in a state that it doesn't change, it actually, I feel that it is better, because I do remember, like I said, my whole life, I've always been Pacific time, that it would screw with your, you know, the way your body and everything, it would get dark earlier, it would stay light later in the summers, and that was a good thing, but it just needs to be left alone. Why do we need daylight savings? I don't know. Just to mess with our bodies, I guess. Because I don't see any real difference in things. I was thinking, let's do, since this is a sidewards card, let's do this long sentiment right here. Now, I might need to get out a bigger... Now I gotta find where she moved them. I swear, my mom is forever moving things. She is good at it. She likes to organize, but then I can't find things. Okay, I might need to go ask her. All right, hold tight. Okay, where are your blocks? They used to be right here underneath the corner of the desk, and now they're not.
They're just on the other side. There they are.
Where?
Right there.
Oh, against a box. Okay, well that was easy. All right, I'm gonna grab this one right here. Ugh. See, she comes in and she's like, oh, it's right there. Like it was right in front of my face. And it was, but I would have never looked over there. Okay, so we're gonna put this, but I think there is something else that I want to add to this. I'm thinking we might need to put some of these really cool little stars, or these little bursts, because why not? We need to make her lovely. Okay, celebrating the magic of the season. That's what we're going to use here. Okay, I'm going to place that right there. And I know I already screwed up and didn't grab my... Oh, look at there. See, that's because I screwed up and it was karma. I didn't get my piercing mat under this, so it was letting me know that I messed up. And see, and I got some ink down here, and that's where it grabbed that ink from. So I'm just gonna grab my chamois and just rub it across there to get that excess ink off, because we don't need that. Then, because of us having two sides to our paper, voila. There we go, woohoo! Okay, there's that. Then I'm gonna take these little stars here, and I'm just gonna place that there, and this here, just like that. Then I think we might need, look, it's kind of shaped like a heart. I'm just gonna do that one right up there. Beautiful. Okay. Leave her alone. I tend to get a little overly excited and go a little wonky, and gotta learn to just leave things alone. All right, now where did I put my card? Oh, here it is, sitting right in front of me. Okay, we're gonna put that right in the inside. And nobody will know that we have a boo-boo on the backside. Well, you guys will know, but you're not going to tell. It's our little secret. Okay. There is our beautiful gold foiled card. Wishing you the best and brightest holiday season, celebrating the magic of the season. Isn't that so pretty? Ooh, who wouldn't love getting that card in the mail? Okay, let me get some of this shifted around here, and then we're gonna get to card number 3. Okay, I'm gonna move that so we don't get any ink on it. Okay, now to card number 3. This is where we're going to do some of that using the fingernail file. Where did my card go? Okay. Get everything situated here. All right, here is all my bits and pieces. This is for the inside. Here is our card base. This is boho blue. I love saying that. It's just kind of fun. This is 8.5 by 5.5. We're going to fold it. You can score it if you wish at 4 1/4. Okay, there's our card base. Then I have a piece. Now this paper here is the, where's that? This right here, it is the, I'm using the Night of Navy. I thought it was being voted on by the house. You know, and that could be in that it's still in the voting. So, you know, maybe, I don't know how many years that takes, but I swear I've been hearing it since I was pretty young and I'm an old lady. So we also have it in the new colors that came out. This comes in the azure Afternoon, Berry Burst, Fresh Freesia, Lemon Lime Twist, and the Night of Navy. This is called White Center. And you're going to see when I emboss this, and then when we go to use that fingernail file to file some of that off, you're going to see how beautiful it looks. We're going to go this way. Let's see what I want in there. Let's see if we can get this a little bit straighter. Like so. Not that I'm worried about it being straight. That's not what I'm trying to go for. So let's move it over a little bit. I think that might work. And I think I'm going to actually flip it over. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it alone. I was thinking I was going to flip it, but I'm not. That works. All right, so I need to grab the big boss again. Gotta move all this without losing any of my little bits. I'm gonna move that right over there. Don't lose those. Okay, again, laying this on. I think I would just leave this stuff out, but space gets limited when we're crafting. Okay, we need plate number 1. Again, I'm going to put that hinge at the top. And because this paper is the same on both sides, I don't have to worry about how I put it in there because I can flip it to whatever I want the impression to be. So run that through. Okay, there's that. And now what I need to do is I need to grab my, there it is, sitting right there. I was gonna say, what did I do with it? But it's right here. I have this old emery board or fingernail file, whatever you wanna call it. See, I told you I'm an old lady. I still call it an emery board. Then I'm just gonna go over, because I have it where my raised parts are on the outside, or facing me rather. And then I'm just gonna take and kind of rub some of that off. Not crazy, just enough to make some of the sides pop out on that. And you are gonna get dust. You're gonna get paper dust. And because we've got these little stars, you can choose to either pop those up and make those stand out as well. The flatter your file is, the less likely it will kind of just screw with your paper, and it'll only hit those high spots. Okay, just like so. And then you can flick some of that dust off. I don't know if you guys can see all those dust particles flying, but trust me, they are. Oof. And then they get in your nose and makes you want to sneeze. So there is our layer that we need. And so you can see on this card where all those little white parts have been kind of, the Night of Navy color has been kind of shaved off. We did the same thing here. All right, bring all my pieces back over. Okay, we are going to need 2 scraps of basic white or 1 big scrap, doesn't matter. Just as long as you've got some scraps of basic white. I also have a scrap of, this is called, and that comes in the 2 different colors here. I'm using the copper clay one. Now this is oxidized copper specialty designer series paper. I'm going to be using copper on this card instead of gold. So I really love this copper color with that Night of Navy. I think that is just a very rich look as well. So I need a scrap of that. Now this here is, oops. This is 3/4 by 4. I need a little strip of that. And then I need a piece of basic white that is just gonna go on the inside. So I'm just gonna throw that in there for the moment. So what we need to do with this is I need to get this adhered. We're gonna add this right to the card base. Hello, Mary. Thought you said you were going to bed, lady. You weren't going to catch me tonight, that you were going to be watching the replay. You must be having insomnia like I was having last night. Or maybe you just couldn't miss out on these beautiful cards tonight, that you just had to be here. I mean, I would want to be here too if I wasn't here. Does that make sense? Okay, so there is our card base with that all raised and lightened to be so beautiful. Then I need this little strip of the boho blue. That's what's going to add the contrast between our two colors there. I'm also going to use one of my strips to stamp on. The other one we're going to be using to do some die cutting on. So again, set that aside. Come in with my sentiment, wishing you the best and brightest holiday season. Take that off for the moment. Now, I'm going to be using copper clay ink on this. Change it up a bit. Okay, that is copper clay. Give that a couple seconds to marinate into that paper. Really make that pop on that white. Beautiful. Oh, I love it. Okay, we need the die to cut that out. So again, I'm going to be using that little banner right here that goes perfectly with that. Just like so. So let me grab the little mini, the itty bitty. And then I've got my little piece of tape here to get that on there and hold it so I keep my placement, just like so. Now we're gonna run that through. Okay. All right, pop that little piece of tape off of there. Okay, there's my beautiful little copper clay banner. So let me place this back in here so I don't lose anything or drop it on the floor. Okay. Then what we need to do is I'm going to, and again, like I said, I love that they gave us 2 of these. So I only have to go through there a couple of times. So over here, I have these bigger, or longer little star pieces or dies. And then I'm going to do 3 of those on basic white. So I can do 2 and then 1. Okay, I've got those right here. Now, when you get yours, I will already have these cut out for you, and they will be in this little tiny bag because it just seems to keep things safe that way from getting lost, because sometimes if you dump your card out of your bag, sometimes these little tiny pieces get lost, and I don't want you to have to lose your pieces. So this way, they'll be tucked nice and safe in a little bag. Okay, come on. And they will stick because that's how static works. Come on. All right, there we go. So you're gonna have to turn some of these over. Now on that little piece of the oxidized copper, there is a little set trio of different little stars here. Now what I have done is I've taken it and I go through and I do this 3 times, but I do it just like that. I keep rotating this so I can get as many stars out of this one little strip And I could probably run this through maybe 5 or 6 times just on this little strip to get all these little cute, if I can pick this up, these little tiny cute little copper stars with that piece. So I have ran it through 4 times just because I wanted to make sure that I had enough of these, but I'm probably going to use 3 of each of those stars just to let you know. Okay, so we've got 3 of the white ones. Well, if I can get it to turn over, it wants to be upside down. There's 3 of those, and then, of course, these are all upside down, but they're all copper. You'll see when I start adding them. Now, the other thing to add some extra copper shine right here is I am going to just take this and wrap this around the bottom of this little boho blue piece because we want to add some more copper. So just like that, I'm just going to add that to the bottom. So let me cut a little bit of an extra length here so I can just adhere that down. Try to get any stars stuck to that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my snail because this seems to work easiest for me. Or seal. Snail. See, I told you. Been around the block for a while. Okay, just add that to the bottom ridge of that. Now this can be taken off just like so. So we can keep using this nice clean little scrap, but you don't need to watch me do that. But I'm just saying, if you get glue on there, you can peel it right off. Okay, I need, oh, come on. Really? I'm going to take my strip here and start with an end of it hanging over so I can bring that around the back. I'm just going to go all the way down that, hiding that end of the boho. Okay, now flipping it over, making sure that I'm at the end of this. Just a little tiny, little just piece of it. Just so I can flip this over and hold that back on the back of that cardstock. Okay, and kind of turn it in just a hair to make sure it doesn't go behind that. But then there is your beautiful copper ribbon on that boho. So you can see how that's done. I'm then going to come in here, and since I've already got this seal, I'm going to just apply a little bit to the back of this. Like that. And then that is going to go right across the center-ish here. I've got a little high. Okay. Now, this piece here, we're going to pop this label up, and it's going to sit with that copper piece just about 1/4 of an inch showing underneath that. Yeah, I really like that copper with this blue. I think Night of Navy and Boho Blue go really, really pretty with copper. Okay, watching both of my margins on the sides of this and making sure that my copper is being seen across the bottom. There we go. That's how that is going to be placed. Now, I'm going to take these stars, the white ones first, and I'm going to place them. One's going to go up over here. Now, whatever I do on the top, I'm going to do the opposite on the bottom. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because that was a little confusing when I said it. I'm going to do 2 of the big white ones on the top, 1 on the bottom, since I have 3. We all know math. Okay, just like that. And then this one is gonna go right down over here. Okay. Now, you've got there's these bigger little, yeah, go figure. There is this little star that fits perfect inside of that. So just put a dab of glue and then place that right in the inside. It's a bit fiddly, you'll have to mess with it. That's why I like using green glue, because you've got some time to kind of move it around to get it into place. So I'm gonna do that in all 3 of those little white stars. You could use your take your pick tool. That's a good way of getting those placed also. Okay, and then one more. I've cut out 4 of them just because moving things around, I sometimes lose my little pieces. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough when I'm putting this card together for you guys. If I lose anything, I was hoping I had another chance. Okay, so there is that. Now you've got these ones that look like little not teardrops, little diamond shaped ones. I've got 3, well, I've got 4, but you need 3 of them. Let's get one more flipped over here. Okay, I don't need those. And then you're gonna have 3 of the little tiny star shapes, and they are tiny. That was not a joke. All right, now I'm going to take a diamond shape and put my glue there, and this is where I'm going to bring in my take your pick, because these are very, very tiny. Hold that down. Okay, come in with another little diamond right here. I'm gonna put 2 diamonds up top and then 1 at the bottom. Okay, that's gonna go there. And then my next one, I'm gonna put right up here. Okay, now I'm gonna do the opposite and do 2 stars down here. And 1 star up here. Just like that. So we've got stars, twinkling. Okay, there are our stars on there. So beautiful. Then we need to figure out something to do on the inside. I think I'm going to put the sentiment Merry Christmas. Yep, I'm gonna put it down there in the bottom, and I'm gonna use the copper clay. Just like that. Let that marinate, and of course I didn't use my piercing mat under that, but we'll make do. Well, no, I need that. Then I think I'm gonna come in and grab, there is a set. There is a big set of stars right here. I think I'm gonna use that. Because we have so many stars on the front side, let's carry some of those into the, bugger. See, the night would not be complete without me sticking my fingers in an ink pad. See, I don't have red, so the next best thing was copper clay because I didn't do it to the blue one. All right, I'm gonna bring my piercing mat back in here. Now I'm gonna grab some of the Night of Navy. I'm gonna stamp off once, and then I'm gonna bring this. I'm gonna come over here, kind of wrap that around that. Let that marinate. Oh, see? Ooh, look how pretty that turned out. That really looks like boho. And it wasn't. It was Night of Navy, just stamped off. So I'm going to keep that just like that. I mean, you could add some more stars if you want, but I like having a big area to write to your recipient. I know some people don't like writing, and that's okay. I tell them fill it in with images. Then you get away with not having to write so much. Because sometimes, depending on who you're sending it to, you just don't have a lot to write in a card, because if you see them all the time, you know, you talk to them, and or maybe it's somebody who's like distant and you don't really know much about them, but you still like sending them a pretty card. You don't have much to write. And that's okay. Don't feel bad about that. It's the thought that you're sending them a beautiful card that counts. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Okay, that is card number 3. So really, we only used these on card number 1 and on my ornaments. So I'm going to show you guys those ornaments one more time. Okay, so here are our 3 cards that I created today. Oh, I love them. I think they're so gorgeous. Okay, and then we have our little extras here of these little sweet. These are my little bonuses that will be thrown on my blog later in the week. These are my little ornaments that I created. Aren't those so adorable? Oh, I love them. Just so pretty and sparkly, and you can, you know, give this as a gift. Like I said, these will lay flat in your card just like that. You can throw this in an envelope and that can be mailed. Just saying. And I told you guys I got those little rings, craft rings or macrame rings on Amazon. And I did the 2.5 inch. So you might want to go to the 3 inch just because I noticed that I probably would want a little bit bigger in there. But then like when I do this little blue one with the star, the 2.5 inch. So you might want to buy 2 sizes if you want to make a bunch of those little ornaments. So, all right, there you guys go. Thank you so much for coming in here and joining me tonight for these wonderful cards using the Stars at Night bundle. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Be safe out there. We live in a crazy, crazy world. But nonetheless, just be safe. Just watch your surroundings. All right, you guys, have a good one. I will see you guys back on Thursday for my alternatives for Paper Pumpkin. Home for the Holidays, I think, is the Paper Pumpkin that I'm going to be playing with on Thursday. Also, I will be doing the drawing for the mystery stamping. So you guys still have time to get your mystery stamping card made and take a picture of it and get it submitted over on Pink Barn Stampers group. If you're not a part of that, please go over there and join that group. The one stipulation is there are a couple of questions that you need to agree to, and make sure you have a profile picture. And that profile picture can be anything your heart desires. All right. You guys have a great week. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.